Morning.
Good morning, Toastmasters.
Morning.
You didn't get the hint that she portended to. These will be retro-inspired. I don't know if anyone went to the party on Saturday. Linda's place was awesome. Yes, it was.
Was.
Some rumors out there I may have ran into a glass door. That's not Now, kicking it off, though, I'm going to start off with these table topics. It's going to be sort of like a rather, or whichever you choose. Relive the 70s or 80s. Toastmaster Charles Huckey.
That's a long walk.
Relive the 70s or the 80s?
Oh, no.
You're pretending that I'm a baby boomer? That's a derogatory term in my house. Used to be. Every time I ask my daughters a question about how to use an iPhone or a computer, they would say, "That's so boomer, Dad." You're acting boomer, Dad. Yes, I must confess, I grew up in the 70s. Very few rules, no fences. Lawyers didn't see on TV every day. It was actually a great time to grow up. I graduated high school in 1979 and had a great time, had a great childhood, grew up in Central Florida here. Youngest of 5 in my family, 2 brothers, 2 sisters, and had probably way too much freedom. And my time is running out, so I'll make this quick. I don't portend or pretend. I don't know where this is going.
The drive-in or the arcade? Toastmaster Benjamin Radio.
I like that.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
While I walk here, I consume some seconds. This is to answer your question. Arcade, drive or arcade?
Drive-in or arcade?
Not driving or... Well, I prefer driving because it is easier to get from place to place. Okay? And this is what I mean. This is what that meant. I guess so. Thing is that driving is good, except when you go through one of these fast food places and you have to be on a line of 30 or 50. So that is not really good because by the time that you get there, then the food is out. So I prefer staying at home, cooking at home, instead of driving. I don't know if that is the question.
Gremlins or Goonies? Toastmaster Lazar Lekadu.
Taking too long.
Gremlin, for me, when I see them, they just remind me of homeless. Why? Because I don't really know what they are. But I have that thing about homeless people. Each time I have a conversation with one of them, it doesn't portend very well. And this is the reason why. I just want to tell you just one instance where something happened. I was driving and then went to a gas station to just use the restroom. And I saw a homeless person come to me and say, "You want something?" I said, "I have only $10 on me. But I want to help because I'm a Christian. But also I'm a Catholic, so I want him to work for it." So I said, "Okay, get the $10, go inside and I buy something like those bars, and then you keep the change." So he took the $10, he went and he came back and he gave me 2.
Wow.
I said, "Man, you could have just bought one and keep the more change." He said, don't worry, I stole them. Now I'm in front of that's something that was stolen. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Vote for one.
Ghostbusters or Back to the Future? Toastmaster Mark Ehlers.
Mark.
Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, I never played, but I understood the theme and the logic to it. So I guess that's more a reflection on me than the Ghostbusters, but I did like some of their music. But Back to the Future, I enjoy the music now, too, particularly the guitar playing out of one would appreciate. I guess at all for presenters, I really don't have much musical talent, or apparently not much speaking talent. Thanks for that question.
Star Wars or Indiana Jones? Toastmaster Dan Wells.
Thank you, Mr. Pastor. Star Wars or Indiana Jones. I never liked either one of those for some reason. Maybe there was a gap in my maturity. And I'm old for 10 to like either one of those. I wonder if after we die, if we're going to attend a Toastmasters meeting. Or a good one. A question for the group. If you broke your foot and you were wearing crutches and you threw them down the staircase and no one was there to hear, would they make a sound? That would be called audible crutches.
Audible crutches.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off or Breakfast Club? Toastmaster Amy White.
Me.
Don't you forget
About me. Whoa. Don't.
Okay, I won't sing anymore. What was the first one? Yeah, no. That movie drove me crazy because that kid was like
Awesome.
psycho. I mean, I grew up following the rules, and I had a very strict mom, so it wasn't an option not to. So watching Ferris Bueller kind of drove me crazy because he was just kept pushing the envelope, and I was like freaking out the whole time. But The Breakfast Club, come on, that's iconic. If you haven't seen it, you must watch it. Each of the characters played a different role, and they all learned lessons throughout their detention, which they had for different reasons. So please watch The Breakfast Club.
Wonder Years or Growing Pains? Toastmaster Tim Lingman.
Wow.
I heard the bat freak there.
Here's the problem. Lonnie is a youngster. Because just about every one of his questions involved the 80s. Now, which is better, the 70s or the 80s? If you ask Lonnie, he would say...
The 80s.
If you ask the older people in the room, they would say...
The 70s.
The 60s.
40.
The 50s.
So, the Wonder Years, what's interesting, I was not a TV watcher back then, in fact, I'm still not. The Wonder Years, I remember that little kid, the ugly one, you know, the guy with the dark hair? You know which one, the ugly one.
Ugly.
Come on, don't even think he's cute. He was just a little kid, a little punk kid. Wonder Years, what was the other one? Oh, I didn't see that. That was a big, tall guy, right?
No, Cameron.
Kirk Cameron. Yeah, he was a medical doctor, right? He was the young medical
No.
Never watched it at all.
That's obvious.
So, 70s or 80s?
There you go.
There you go.
Ah, wait, I still have time. 70s was awesome because we had Hotel California.
There
right there.
Van Halen or Bon Jovi? Toastmaster Blake Smith.
Hey. Woo!
Easy one there.
Good gravy.
Great.
Bon Jovi is a great band. When you see the opening licks to a Bon Jovi song at a stadium, it portends a fantastic single. You know it's gonna happen, but you gotta be kidding me. Van Halen or Bon Jovi? That's like saying God or a rock. Come on. Eddie Van Halen took a little used technique on the guitar known as the hammer roll and made it his own. David Lee Roth couldn't normally carry a tune in a bucket, but what an entertainer. He got out there, they created a style that was emulated by bands all over the world. I had a friend that back in the 70s had an act, and they were in a battle of the bands in the panhandle of Florida with Van Halen. Guess who won? Van Halen.
Hey.
Motley Crue or Def Leppard? Toastmaster Rebecca Eggleton.
Becca.
Get the right answer.
No, there is no right answer. I get these music questions I find on the table topics. I'm really not that musically inclined in terms of all the genres. So, back to the drive-in. Or the arcade, yeah. I love the drive-in as a kid. It was so much fun. We would go as a family in the station wagon, arrive there. They had a playground. They had a playground, and you would be on the playground and you'd portend of like, what's going to happen tonight. A lot of fun times at the drive-in for sure. Great memories.
Atari or Nintendo? Toastmaster Tao Street.
How?
Atari or Nintendo?
Game consoles.
Atari.
They're video games.
Both game systems.
Whereas the music questions or the 70s, 80s was just, I don't have memory about any of this. And I also, I don't know the game systems. But I can talk about the Star Wars because I just hosted a Star Wars themed party last weekend with a bunch of 5 and 6 years kids. Most kids never really saw the movies, but they really enjoy the parties. We hired the musicians from Disney Spring. He doing guitar with 2 hands on it and Australian instrument called
The didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo. Yeah.
If you know him, he is very famous in Orlando, and the kids absolutely love his rock and roll music, and which is nothing to do with Star Wars at all.
All right, just heads up for anyone else that's getting this next one. This is also video game related. You should know this. Pac-Man or Donkey Kong? Toastmaster Shauna Jackson.
Oh, Shauna.
So this is actually really hilarious. I wish my kids were here for this statement because my daughter was hospitalized about 2 years ago, and in the hospital we had these video game consoles that we could play. And one of her favorite video games is Pac-Man. Although that video game gives me severe anxiety because I am being attacked from all different angles and I gotta get these gold little dots. And I am not joking, it is crazy. I yell, I scream, I move, she almost pushed off the bed, and I was like, oh no, you're hospitalized, let me not injure you. So it's definitely not Pac-Man. What was that? Oh, I'll take Donkey Kong all day. I'll take him throwing barrels at me, and plus Seth Rogen's hilarious. and that's the new voice in the new Mario movie. So forget Pac-Man, guys. Never invite me. I don't want to be a part of it. There is a life-size Pac-Man game, by the way, somewhere in the world. I don't suggest it. Oh, portend.
Spoken like a new member.
Mr. Huckabee.
Girl portended on the way to see.
My Little Pony or Strawberry Shortcakes? Toastmaster, Lily, Cunningham. Cunningham, sorry.
I use my pretend first. I don't know where I'm going to use it. I'll use it first. My Little Pony is a little kid movie or series movie, I think.
It's a toy.
Strawberry shortcake.
Oh, strawberry. I already know that one. My daughter, when she was little, she liked My Little Pony and watched with her. So I know a little bit. Just a pretty little tails, female pony and a male pony. So I don't really know what the story about it at this point, but I do want to talk about the 70s and the 80s. I remember 70s, I cannot be full at the time I was hungry. And the 80s, I like 80s. I like 80s. If I get to 80s, I have a very happy time. I can eat everything. I have a candies at that time. Thank you.
Transformers or He-Man? Toastmaster, Damien Ventrell.
All right.
Morning, Toastmasters. So he was blamed for being skewed towards the 80s, but I love it. I'm an 80s baby. So much so that I forced my kids to watch 80s movies. So we forced them to watch Top Gun. We sit them down. They've seen All Star Wars. We make them watch Edward Scissorhands. I make references to the 80s movies, and anytime they don't get the reference, oh, sit down, watch it. So they can always, they always portend when this is coming. The thing that made me think about this was when you came up singing, "Don't you forget about me." At the end of that movie, the kids looked at me and like, "Dad, what is this?" This movie was horrible.
There you go.
Cabbage Patch or Barbie? Toastmaster, Gina Resende.
The past 2 weeks showed me that portended that I was going to be called again, even though I didn't sign. Can I speak about something else that is very important? The reason I'm here, Star Wars was inspired by this man called Joseph Campbell. He's my guru in life because his saying was, follow your bliss, all doors will open for you. Lucas spoke to him and made this amazing movie. So I'm thankful to have him follow my bliss. And I'm here today because of this man and Star Wars. Thank you.
Mullet or Mohawk? Toastmaster, Teresa Bay.
Oh, if you like talking today. I'll go with my little pony, my little pony. My little pony. I got 2 girls, and I've watched these movies, ponies, shows, toys, 100 times. We have different characters: Applejack, Fluttershy,
What was the main character? I forgot the main character, but Applejack always portend the worst. Every time, all the time. So every time she was about to say something, I'm like, positive, 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 and then it will get ready to know that, hey, whatever she said, we can turn that into something positive. Thank you.
MacGyver or Knight Rider? Toastmaster Tim Taylor.
No.
Jimmy, MacGyver or Knight Rider? You know, being in the IT business, we use the word MacGyver all the time. So we got to MacGyver this and make it work. You know, it's not working. We got to figure out how to way to do it. One of my techs will call me on the phone. I can't figure it out. I said, you got to MacGyver it, man. It's got to work. We got to build these people. Network's got to get back up. So we do that all the time. You know, talking about drive-ins, I'll never forget once my brother called me from the drive-in. We had regularly stowed someone away in the trunk when we pulled in the drive-in. I remember getting in. You haven't lived until you've snuck your way into a drive-in, right? Yep. And then we got caught doing that. They recognized our car. So at the exit, there was this little teeth that came up and would flatten your tires. So my brother says, I'm going to get a couple of pieces of wood and put it over the teeth, and I'm going to drive across. So he calls me about 11 o'clock at night. He says, can you bring 2 spare tires? And I said, you know, I'm asleep. And he literally wakes me up. The phone in my room wakes me up. And he's got, I said, I got 1 spare in my car. He goes, you're going to have to take the spare out of Dad's car, and you're going to have to come all the way down here and get me before, you know, before Dad figures out what happened. And I got down there about 1 o'clock in the morning. We got home at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So drive-ins, you just got to love them. Thank you.
Ripped jeans or acid wash jeans? Toastmaster Linda Flores.
Good morning, Toastmasters.
Morning.
Good morning, yes. Ripped jeans or acid wash? I have to say acid wash. My dad was a very, very strict disciplinarian, and he did not like ripped jeans. He thought that was very low class, and he actually forbid my sisters from, you know, when you used to buy the jeans, you would rip them with little razors or shred them, that kind of. My sister got in so much trouble, she was grounded for a month because of that. He just could not see that look. So that when the acid wash style came out, we used to take my mother's Clorox bottles and we would throw that, you know, we would throw the Clorox on the jeans and then just throw them in the wash, and then and my mother could never understand why when we wash clothes they would come out all spotted. But until this day I don't think she got that style item.
All right, Toastmasters, that is it. Do all speakers qualify?
No.
Who did not?
We didn't wrap it up. Oh, no.
Charles went over 15 seconds. Lazar went over 12.
Past 1:30. It has to be past 1:30. You're good.
Never mind, everyone qualified.
Vote for 2. Vote for 2.
Give it a break.